What's going on, guys? D. Anthony here. It is Sunday. We are doing our chart work, and I started to think about something that might help you all in your futures trading. So what we're looking at here is the NQ. We're looking at the 1 hour time frame, and I started to think about, what is one of the biggest problems that I see a lot of, newer or inexperienced or unprofitable, futures traders making. And it's simple. I know you've heard it before, but it's patience and it's discipline. Now, again, let's just disregard every single trading strategy that's out there. I don't really care what you trade, supply and demand. I don't care what time frame you trade. I don't care where you learned from. I don't care, none of that stuff. The biggest problem that most traders have is discipline and patience, okay? And even right now, listening to this video, I know there's probably 70 to 80% of you who are fiddling their thumbs ready to click off of the video because you're so impatient. You want me to get to the exact point on how you can fix yourself. That right there is the problem that you have. You need to slow things down in a matter where this game, this business becomes extremely boring to you. Okay. Now, I don't mean that you can't get excited for when you win and don't get upset for when you lose, but you need to have a little bit of an even keel. You need to be just as excited when you win a trade and just as upset when you lose a trade. You shouldn't be overly upset every time you lose a trade, and you shouldn't be overly excited to where you feel like you're the Wall Street's next, top 50 trader of the year. Like, what I'm saying is that your emotions need to be grounded. They need to be in check. Now, I'm looking at the 1 hour time frame here. I want to show you something where you would need to have a level of patience. And this is where a lot of traders get caught with their pants around their ankles. Now, if I'm looking at this 1 hour chart, this is based on one of my strategies. And if you guys are inside of Evolution Traders, which is my trading community and Discord and my education quote unquote center, you guys are going to know what I'm talking about. If you just found me through YouTube, maybe you don't understand this strategy or how I'm using this chart, that's another video for another day. But I want to make a point, okay? And the point that I want to make is if we look at this first candle here that I really want to focus on, it's 5 a.m. Now, for me, I'm in California. The market's not even going to open until 6:30 in the morning. So 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. is considered what I call pre-market. Now, you may call it London session. You may call it overnight session. I don't care what you call it. For me, I call it the pre-market. The pre-market is anything pre-market open New York session time, okay? I know some of you guys are coming over from the Forex side of things where you guys, have different, you guys look at time frames differently. New York session, Asian session, London session. Guys, this is futures. The market is located here in the United States. There is one time frame to trade. That's the New York session. Does that mean you can't make money in London or Asian session or overnight session or pre-market or after hours? Of course not. There's one market. That's the New York market. Everything is drawing around the New York market. Now, again, before I get some smart wise ass in the comments, well, the London session is setting up for the New York session, and the New York session is just a continuation of whatever happened in the Asian session. I don't give a shit. The most trading action, the most volatility, generally speaking, happens in the New York session. So if we're looking at this pre-market time here, 5 a.m., we close, okay, right at this 200-day moving average. Now, if you guys don't trade using moving averages, maybe you don't know the significance of some of these moving averages, your 200-day moving average on any time frame, okay, on any time frame is your granddaddy, okay? That's the king, okay? The 200-day moving average. If you're over that, typically speaking, long-term, you're bullish. If you're under that, typically you're bearish. It's common sense. Okay, the 50 is another significant moving average for a shorter time frame trader, and the 20 is pretty much your intraday, end all be all. Where is a short-term trend at for that specific hour? Okay, so what I'm looking at here is if the 1 hour time frame is closing and testing this 200-day moving average, well, guess what? If the next candle, the following candle, opens up and it starts to confirm the low price that gets below this 200-day moving average, there's a potential trade there. Now, again, if you guys are coming over from stocks and options, you guys, typically waiting till the New York session opens. We have the luxury here in the futures market to kind of trade 23 hours a day. So it really doesn't matter, right? It really doesn't matter what time these moves are setting up. These moves are not just waiting for New York to open or London to close or Asia, to open or close. It doesn't really matter. They just kind of all tie in together. What I'm saying is that you get a lot more volatility and a lot more movement the closer you get into the New York session. So as we start to approach the New York session open, you can see that we start to confirm the low of this 200-day moving average. Now, if you miss this trade, if you don't get into this trade, because notice the gap, right? Notice the space. You have a Bollinger Band that's going to obviously move and bend, but you got a linear regression here. You got the 200-day moving average here. You've got a big space in between. Now, does it lose and go lower? Sure. But all I'm trying to do is make money in between the lines, right? I'm not trying to play hero and guess where this can stop, right? No. What I want is lose a level of demand, test the next level of demand, get in, get green, get the hell out. So if you miss this trade, for example, this is what tends to happen. People hesitate. They don't take the trade right when they should. Price starts moving down, lower, goes up, comes down lower. Next thing you know, you want to take the trade somewhere here, okay? But you're not confident in the move. You're hesitant. You're late to the party. And then sometimes you get into this play and, it starts to go against you and you panic because you felt like you made the wrong move. You stop yourself out only to see hours later it's lower in price. Now, what you need to do is have patience and discipline. Discipline's going to come into play here. If you see this setup, okay, where we've got a space, we've got gap to fill, we've got room, then you need to be disciplined enough to trust your trading strategy and get into the trade when the hell you're supposed to get into the trade. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, let's say you fell asleep behind the wheel. I've done it many of times where, I hesitate. I don't take the trade when I'm supposed to. And then I'm sitting there biting my nails and kicking myself in the ass because I could have been making money, but I'm not because I was scared to take the trade. So, okay. If that's the case, then guess what? We can't just start jumping in short here, jumping in short here. Jumping in short here, jumping in short here. No, you have to have the patience and the what, guys? The discipline to tell yourself, I fucked up. Okay, I messed up. I did not take the trade when I should have. I cannot chase it here, or here. Listen to this story. Would you rather jump out of the first story building, or would you rather jump off the 10th story or the 15th story? I don't know about you, but I would take my odds of surviving and coming out with a bump or a bruise jumping out of the first story than potentially breaking both of my legs and my neck jumping out of the 10th story building. So I'll take my lumps here if I'm wrong, get stopped out, but I'm not going to break my neck and my legs chasing a move that is super extended just because I want to be involved in the party. Does that make sense? So patience is going to come into play when this candle closes. You need to wait, right? You need to wait for this candle to close. And then what? Your next trade doesn't come into play until we confirm the new lows, okay? Now, this trade opens up, starts to go against, runs into supply, gets rejected, and comes back down. Down. At one point in time, this candle that's green was red, confirms the lows here. You can take an opportunity at a scalp here. Okay. Now, depending on your trade setup, how many points you're looking for, what's your risk is going to depend on whether you got into this trade and got out for a positive return, or you got into this trade, held it, and then got stuck in drawdown and maybe got stopped out or had to wait 2 to 3 hours before it finally come down and confirm again down here before you can take profits. Again, that's all going to be dependent on your strategy. However, the level of patience that needs to be performed and discipline that needs to be performed is I see too many people missing this trade here because they hesitate taking the initial short setup, and then they're jumping in here, or here. But I just want you to notice that even though this candle is red, there is points and times in this candle where you could have taken a short and then it's bouncing against you 10-15 points and then stopping you out, and then it's coming back down again, you're taking the next short and then it's bouncing on you and you're stopping out again, then it's coming back down again and then you're getting stopped out. You're doing the same song and dance. Instead of taking the initial short position, taking your cash and getting the heck out, you're continuously chasing and wondering where this potential stock price is going, and you're just shooting yourself in the foot all over again. So again, the biggest problem that most futures traders have is patience and discipline. Master your patience and discipline and understand that if you miss a trade because you effed up, well, guess what? You effed up. You got to wait till the candle closes and wait for a confirmation on the next candle. That is what it is. If you're looking to go long, it doesn't mean that, oh, we're just going to start bouncing here, hoping that it comes back up. No, in order for you to really get long, a candle has to take out a previous candle's high. A candle has to take out a previous candle's high, That's telling you that the down move is over, right? And potentially we're coming back up to the high side. Again, it's not rocket science. As soon as we're going on a downtrend, I don't care what's green, it doesn't matter. Until you take out a previous candle's high, there is no real long position. I hope this video makes sense. If you guys want to learn more of my strategies and trade with me and get access to one-on-one coaching and mentorship and go through all of the hours and hours of video lessons that I have, join Evolution Traders. I got a fat discount on it right now. It's down in the link in the description box below. If you guys are looking for a prop firm because you guys don't like to risk your real cash, which again, if you can leverage someone else's money or a service or something where you can put in minimal amounts of money, prove that you have a skill set and get paid out on that skill set, which is AKA prop firms, join a prop firm, get funded, get payouts, roll that into a personal account and continue to grow your bottom line. I work with Top Step and Apex, 2 competitors. I don't care if they're competitors. I don't care, whatever. I trade for both of them. They both work. They're both good. They both have their advantages. Some of them have their disadvantages. Doesn't matter. It's more leverage. Again, tomatoes, potato, apples to oranges. It's all the same shit at the end of the day. Which one do you like? Those links are down in the description box below. You can go through and see their rules and see how much they cost and all that stuff. Again, that's all down there. I'll see all of you guys in the next video. Hope you guys all have a fantastic weekend. And again, let's stay safe. Let's make some cash this weekend and let's all have a good week.